Hello, welcome to today's video. Today I'm testing artificial lures again. This one's another rubber fish from BALZER from the Shirasu range, and it's called the Prince Shad. First of all, a little biology. Lots of people think the fish are stupid, unable to learn, but if you do a bit of research on the internet, you find out that's not true at all. For example, I found a YouTube video where goldfish were taught how to find their way through a maze by placing some food at the end of it. In the beginning they were quite slow, but by the end they were quite quick at finding their way through. Another example is one of aquarium fish that react differently. When they see the owner with the food canister in his hand, they swam straight to the surface. Yet without the food container in the owner's hand, the fish appeared to be not interested. So there we have two examples of where fish have learned something. And the example with the food canister, from the example with the food canister, we can see that fish have got good eyesight. Except for maybe the catfish, which is blind as a bat, but it has those barbels to help it in that regard. But pike, which I fish for using these lures, it sees well and it learns. And if the water is clear and well fished, then it becomes more difficult. Let's take my water as an example. You see lots of trawlers going round and round, lots of lures. I don't know how many lures they're allowed to have. You also see lots of spinners. You see those in the same places, and the trawlers following the same routes. And the pikes, on a typical day, see an awful lot of lures. They probably know them better than the fishermen. The lake near me is very clear. I used to use bright coloured lures, and I got hardly any bites. I went out one time on a friend's lake, which was more cloudy, and using those bright colours, I got more bites. I mean, that's possibly due to the relative lack of artificial lures in comparison to what goes on my lake. So the lure, the Prince Shad is called the Prince Shad because the body is not painted or sprayed, but printed. It's a relatively new technique which creates quite a realistic effect. It's then finished with an ultraviolet coating which makes the lure visible in dark or in cloudy water. This is exactly what I want, a realistic looking lure that can trick big pike in clear, heavily fished waters. And some people might be thinking, well, my water's also clear and heavily fished, and I use bright colours. Okay, that may be true, but you may be able to catch even more if you use one of these artificial lures. I attached a goldfish cam underwater camera to a lure, and I was amazed at how many fish I had following the lure. You normally only see the ones that swim up to the boat or up to your feet, and it's these that we need to outwit. I believe there are 3 feeding phases for a fish. 1, they'll eat anything, everything that moves. You can reel anything through the water and the fish will just take it. 2, the fish is hungry, but not in a feeding frenzy, so it checks everything out carefully. Number 3, the fish is just hanging around, has no desire to eat, and you've got no chance with those. It's the fish in the second phase, the ones that are hungry but not in a rush. These are the ones that are hard to outwit, and it's here I think that we can catch more. Here are the different models. They're all very realistic. They have a red head, which at first I thought wasn't particularly realistic, but when you get them underwater and moving, it looks like gills. The movement is very pronounced on these, so you have to reel them in slowly. The tail moves and you get that characteristic side-to-side movement. I use a 17cm lures, which I find are the perfect size for me. The other ones are too small for what I'm up to. I don't want to catch small pike. It's too much hassle, but they're probably very good for catching perch. There are also some other models. For example, a pike model, 23 centimeters long, at 75 grams. The consistency of the rubber is very compact and soft, but it doesn't tear very easily. So they have a good weight, and that makes them very good for casting. I've been out for 2 hours with the lure. I've caught 2 nice pikes using the 17 centimeter pike model, and I'm very happy with it. These rubber fish are not cheap, I have to say, but BALZER and Shirasu, they do offer a hook system whereby the hook comes away from the rubber fish when you get a bite, so the lure doesn't get stuck in the fish's mouth, it doesn't get damaged when you're reeling it in, so it lasts longer. But I've got more on that in the next video. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please give me a like or subscribe. You can also find me on Facebook under Fish Freak. My main interest is kayak fishing. Kayak fishing, I think, is becoming more and more popular, and quite right too. Kayak fishing rocks silently.